So let's break out of the box. Have you ever felt like you're just like in this invisible box and you can't break through, right? Maybe it's that on the other side is you're looking for happiness, you're looking for relationships. Maybe you're looking for more money. Maybe you're looking for to get out of the 9-to-5 job, or maybe you're stuck in a business that you just don't enjoy, right? I've been there. I've done all those things, right? And I want to show you in this video certain ways that you can start breaking free from that invisible box and what it is it's made out of, and give you some real steps that you can take to get out of the box. So let's talk about this box. In life, you experience certain things in your life that are going to put you in a box. So let me explain. Let me share a story with you. Okay. So years ago, I started one of my first businesses, and you probably heard me in my other videos. But a lot of my stories that I created in my future, I created from that business. So I have a lot of stories to share in that. So when I created my business, it was one of those things that I felt that I had to do for somebody else, for my older brother. It was an opportunity, but what I felt when I was working in that business, I literally felt like a prisoner, right? I don't know if you ever felt this way, like you're doing something, maybe it's in your family, maybe it's in your business, maybe it's, in your job, whatever it is that you do. I literally felt like a prisoner because once I was in, I couldn't get out of it, right? Even though I was doing, the things that it seemed like I enjoyed, but I literally felt like a prisoner. Now, this is not the only time that I felt like that, right? But what happens is that we put ourselves in a mental box, right? And what I mean by that, what happened to me was that I thought that this was going to make me happy. Right. I thought that creating this business with my brother, making all this money, this was it. Like this was a thing that I was supposed to do. Right. And then once I was inside it, I lost my energy. I lost my emotional high. Right. Like it was, oh my God, like I'm doing the same thing over and over again every single day. And what I craved, what my emotions were, they wanted something else, something new, right? So sometimes I would, start up fights with my brother, or I would, do certain things to kind of stir up, to allow myself to break through that box. But then what I realized was that I was just chasing the emotional high. And let me explain. We feel like we're inside in a box because we want more, right? Because we put attachment to that thing that we're in. Like, for instance, for me, creating that company, my attachment was that company. But I saw myself in a box, right? Because I wasn't present. I wasn't enjoying what I was doing, even though it was the things that I enjoyed. It sounds kind of odd, but that's what we do. So anytime that we feel like we're inside the box is because we've attached too much emotion, desire into the outcome of the thing that we were trying to achieve. Like maybe, let's say, you feel in the box because like you're in a job, right? Or in your family, like there's so much attachment to the outcome that we were expecting to receive from it. And obviously your outcome is never going to be exact the same as what you're going to get, right? Like for me, I thought I was going to start the business. I was going to, live this just wonderful life, never had to work again. But what I actually realized that it actually created a job for me, right? Because we were working nonstop to build this business. So I put myself in a mental box. And that's something that I learned later in life, that everything that we create is mental, right? But what I mean by mental is that it's created by our mentality, like our thoughts, right? Somewhat everything that we see, experience, and this took me a very long time to understand, because I always thought life just happened to you, right? You just dealt. Like when I started that business, like that was it. Like that business was just there, and I just had to work it. Like working in the fields, right? Working in the cornfields, you just worked it. You just continue it. But what actually the power resides in, when I was inside the box in that job, I was miserable because I was making myself miserable, right? I was waiting for this big outcome to happen instead of enjoying those days that I had with my brother, building the company, laughing, getting new employees, getting new customers. And what actually woke me up from that box, which I don't want it to happen to you, was my brother passed away, right? That literally not only shattered my box, it actually built another box around it, right, with sand in it, right? And it was suffocating me for years because, again, I put too much connection to the outcome of the company, of my brother passing. And instead of being present and allowing myself to feel and to enjoy what I'm doing, even if you are stuck in a 9 to 5, even if you start in the business, right? There's a couple things. One, you want to really understand is that if you actually attach yourself to the outcome, what was that outcome that you were expecting, right? And that's why you feel like you're inside a box. What you want to do is you want to break away, detach yourself from that outcome, and just be present. Be in the journey, right? Now, if you really dislike where you're at right now, right, and you want to create something new, then what you want to do then is you want to say, okay, what are the steps? Like, you want to know where you're at right now. And then to break away from the box, this is very, very important. Now, listen to me. You want to know, you want to paint another destination, right? And now by painting a destination is very important that you don't attach yourself outcome to that new destination. If it's a new job, if it's making more money, because that's what I've done in the past. And what I have done is I create that other destination and then I create another box on top of it. And then once I get there, I'm in another box, right? And then I'm trying to break free from that box. So what you want to do is wherever you're at right now, whatever circumstances you are in right now, you want to create a destination, describe it in detail, right? Really vividly see it, understand it. You want to see it, hear it, feel it, even smell it, right? Use all your senses to create that vision, right, for the new destination. That's going to allow you to be able to start breaking free from this box, because if you can't see that destination, your brain is like the most expensive, the most amazing navigation system that you have. And if you don't put in the correct destination, you're going to stay in the box, right? So for me, when I was in that business, stuck in the box, right, I couldn't see what was the next destination, right? I had already achieved it. So it's like, okay, so I'm here. I'm miserable. Now what? So what you want to create, if you are in that, you want to create a new destination, describe it as detailed as possible. You can write it, you can draw it, whatever it is you can, but make it so vivid that you can feel it and see yourself there, right? And what that's going to happen, since you know where you are now, you paint that destination. The walls of the box are just going to start crumbling, right? But very important, what you want to do then is start filling those gaps, that step from where you are now to your new destination, right? It's just those turns. What are those turns, right? And it can be challenging to kind of find those turns, right? But you have to trust the process that you will come up with those answers. You cannot put all your attachment and your focus on the outcome. Once you design it, it's there, you know what it is. You have to believe that where you are now, you will get there. Now, you will have to work to get there, right? You're going to have to make those moves, those little steps. And whatever resistance you have, once those walls fall down, you're still going to be afraid. Essentially, your brain's going to be afraid to step outside the box. I don't know if you ever heard of this analogy. How do they train elephants in the circus? Well, when they're born, as soon as they're born, they put that big chain around their leg and they tie it to a spike right onto the ground, right? So since they're born, they can't move, right? They're chained to that spike, and whatever they do, they struggle. They can't move. And then as they grow up, right, and they become these 1,000, 2,000 pound elephants, I'm not sure how much they weigh, they take the chain off, right? But that elephant is conditioned that the chain is still there, so its brain is already wired that it's not going to run away because it got conditioned. we get conditioned when we're inside the box, right? And I believe we have we create these boxes throughout our life, our adolescent, when we're young, when we're adults, in different situations. But in whatever box you're in, the very first step is you want to create that vision for yourself, right? Describe it in detail, as much as detail as you can, right? And then now, when you're here now, right, you have to trust that you will get there to that destination, but you're not going to know how. Okay, this is where it becomes really challenging. But you're going to have to take that first step outside those walls, because as soon as you paint that destination, those walls from your box fall. But you're still conditioned like that elephant, that your brain doesn't want to step outside the box, outside your comfort zone. Now, one very important thing to realize is growth and achievement and everything comes in through resistance. When you feel resistance in anything, that's actually kind of a telltale sign. It's like that elephant with that chain. It's another chain, right, that you were conditioned that you don't want to do. Obviously, there's different types of resistance, right? You don't want to do, some crazy resistance, like jump out of a plane without a parachute. I jumped out of a plane, but I had a parachute and someone else attached to it too. So as you start taking off these chains, these mental chains that you have, you want to feel the resistance and do it anyway, right? Because from the other side of resistance gets you closer to where your new outcome or your new vision is. But the very, very first step to break away from that box, that invisible box that we put ourselves in and that we feel, is to create that destination, right? Then those walls actually fall off. But then you're not done there yet. You have to take steps closer to it, right? And you have to trust the process. You have to trust the process that not everything is going to be outlined for you step by step. I truly believe we all have a certain destination. Resistance is part of that. Every single challenge that you experience is a way for you to grow and to get closer to where you're at. Now, when you get to that new destination, you have to remember that might be part of a step to your next destination, right? Because we want to keep evolving, right? We want to keep growing, right? Who you were now versus 10 years ago, you're probably a totally different person, right? And the way you got there, we tend to forget, but it was going through challenges and you got stronger and stronger and stronger. A very good way to really build confidence, right? For many, many years, I was looking for how do I get confidence to speak on stage? How do I get confidence to start a business? How do I get confidence to ask, who my wife now is, to marry me, right? Confidence doesn't just come up, right? To break out of the box, it's not that you need confidence. Confidence actually comes from competence and experience, which means is the only way you're going to get confidence is by having more experiences, right? And competence, right? You want to learn and then you want to take that action. Every major breakthrough that you're going to have, and even if you look in your past history, is come from taking action. Make a list of every single huge breakthrough you had in your life, accomplishment, whatever that may be, and you're going to see that it was some sort of action that you took. So just because right now you're inside this box, it feels like you can't get out of it. Again, very first step is like me when I was in that business that I didn't know what other destination was after we had the business. So I had to create another destination, right, after that business to give me more motivation so I can move towards it, right? Later it was to sell the business, right? And then, of course, unfortunately, my brother died, right? And then I had to create, and then I was stuck in another box. I was stuck in a box for a few months where I started drinking, started taking medication and wanted to take my own life because I concealed myself in the box again. Then what broke myself out of the box is I created another destination, right? With some other people guiding me and helping me because this box was pretty hard for me to get out of. And then those walls fell and then I was able to take those small steps, right? But just remember to break outside of that box is you got to create that destination, and then the walls will crumble. I guarantee it. But then your next step is to take action, take a step towards it, right? And that's how you're going to find that resistance and challenges, and that really these boxes that we create ourselves, that because we create them, are actually ways for us to be able to challenge us to grow out of it, right? One of the things that you want to really focus on is, if you do get stuck in a box, right? First, just be aware of it. Just accept it. Like, shit, man, I'm stuck in a fucking box, right? Awareness is very important in life. I've, been, in the past, I've drinking obsessively, and awareness was the first thing, like I chewed tobacco for many years. And once I realized awareness that I wanted to get out of it, I stopped it just like that. But awareness is like shining the light under the bed for the boogeyman, right? Awareness is your very first step to breaking outside the box. Awareness is, to be able to, get the relationship that you want, or quitting the 9 to 5 to start a business, whatever that is. But to break free from the box is first, you got to know that you're in the box. And if you're watching this video, you know you're in a box. So that's great. Congratulations. And then 2, you want to create that vision, right? And then 2, then you want to start taking steps and just trust the process, detach from that outcome, and just understand that the how will come. The how always comes, right? But you just have to detach yourself from the outcome and just take steps towards it. Take steps, small steps, however you want, but just don't stop, right? That consistent action is going to be your guide to getting closer to where you want to go. I hope you found this useful, and my goal for you is to really give you, those destinations, and help you to achieve those destinations in your life, to break free from those boxes that we create ourselves. But the boxes are part of life, right? And it allows us to create the new vision. Sometimes it forces us to say, hey, it's time for more, right? Now, where are you going, right? Because it gets us stuck in the cycle, right? But it's actually, again, a positive thing for us to grow and to challenge us to keep moving forward, right? And again, resistance is very important. We have to lean into resistance. But my goal here in this channel is to support you to break free from the box, get to your next level, get to your next step, and achieve that. So if you found this video useful, please share it, subscribe to the channel. It'll help me in the YouTube algorithm so other people can watch it. And then also comment down below, like, what are some of the boxes that you've been, or maybe you are in the box now. What's that next destination that you're going to paint for yourself, right, to achieve there? It'll help others, and it'll help you, and I really appreciate and I thank you for watching my channel, and I appreciate you. Namaste.